guys. Welcome to Champions Talk, where we discuss boxing and everything entertainment. I'm here with my co-host, Madam Nelly.
Hi.
And boxing manager, Mr. Onyeka here.
Hi.
Yeah, so I'm Yusuf, the host of the day. Let's get kick up.
Okay, Mr. Oneyka, right?
Yep.
So I'm glad you're here. We're happy to have you here on this podcast. So we know you to be a boxing manager, and we would like you to share with us your experience in the boxing industry so far in Nigeria.
Experience in terms of good or bad? Let's
Everything.
start from it.
Everything.
Okay. Actually, I started as a professional boxing manager in 2005. Then boxing was more interesting but terrible because boxers are being paid penny for great fights. You see, the highest paid boxer, the highest paid fight then was 20,000 naira for title fights. And the highest international paid you get then is $1,500 for either African title and the rest, compared to now where you get millions from boxing. We've seen the good and the bad side of professional boxing in Nigeria. I have tasted boxing once as an amateur boxer, but going to turn professional, then I saw boxing was like it's not a sport you would love to adventure into due to the less pay in it. So and due to we have more of illiterates then, and I was privileged to attend Lagos State Polytechnic. So I was more or less the educated ones, the educated person among them then. So instead of wasting my time as a boxer, I was advised by my colleagues who are also boxers to why not go as a professional boxing manager. There we know you are smart, we know the business, you can help professional boxers. Okay. That was why I adventured into boxing. And it was actually Mojido Kedara, my middleweight boxer, who encouraged me to turn professional boxing manager instead of professional boxer. And then late Prince Olaide Adeboye, who was the president of the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control, he tutored me in terms of administrative aspect of boxing in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've said quite a lot, but you talked about boxers being paid in pennies, I want to ask, how did you manage to cope from that time till now? What was your drive? What was that driving force that kept you pushing in the business, or let's say in the dream? Okay.
First, in Nigeria or in the sport, in the industry in general, 99% of people who are into the industry are into the sport because of the love they have for the game. Okay. Not because of the money. You must first have passion for the game before you think about money. Boxing is not a sport you adventure into as a boxer, a manager, a promoter, whatever, and you expect to make your millions once. Just as I said then, the highest paid boxer locally was 25,000 naira. The highest paid boxer within Africa then was 1,500. Compared to now, where you get the lowest paid boxer is 50,000 naira, and you get some boxers can be lucky, not title fights, maybe 8-round fight, they get paid up to 250, 500,000 per night. You understand? And if you talk about title fight, you talk about 250, 300,000 upwards. And aside that, there are packages some promoters do, whereby they get the best boxers in an event, and they get awarded with a minimum of 1 million naira aside their pay.
Okay.
So boxing now compared to boxing then now is more or less a showbiz business where people go to make money, compared to then when we kill ourselves for the passion of the game.
Okay, so are you saying to us now that the game boxing or the sport is not really a priority game in Nigeria or a priority sport in Nigeria? Because we have youths who look up to other boxers, both in Nigeria, those who are outside, and every part of the world, and they would have one way imagined themselves in those positions. So now, talking about Nigerians who have this dream, how do you tend to encourage them to keep this fire burning in your heart? Because you have clearly stated that, I mean, the boxing system in Nigeria is not having adequacy in terms of finance. One thing about Dream is that it puts food on your table, it pays your bills and many more when you tend to achieve it. So how do you encourage these young people to keep this fire burning in their hearts?
First, in Nigeria, we have professional boxing, or boxing in general, as the second love sport in Nigeria. But unfortunately, then you have more of touts and illiterates coming into the sport. Those are the people who adventure into boxing in general, be it amateur or professional. But these days, by the grace of God, we have elites coming into the sport, more of graduates adventuring into professional boxing, probably because they feel there is money now in the industry here in Nigeria. But the problem, a major problem we have in the industry is sponsorship. You find corporate bodies not investing the way they should invest in the sport compared to football. In football, everybody wants to invest in it because it's a quick cash for companies in terms of publicity and in terms of PR anyway. But boxing in general, the Nigeria economy see it as an aggressive sport, so they get less sponsorship. Just it still lies back to you having the passion for the sport. That is where you see in professional boxing, you see more of promoters pumping their personal income into the sport, compared to football, where you have a rich guy in quotes as a football promoter, but you see companies coming to sponsor it. They don't use that money they get. They promote football with sponsorship from corporate body. Why we that is into the boxing industry, we do more of our own funds.
So I think boxers now making money now, because you mentioned that promoters had to be putting their own personal money because of whatever reason, and the educated boxers are not really getting involved. Well, are boxers now making money, and the promoters now getting like other entities over their own personal like income to like promote? Are they over making money in there now?
In the industry, just as I said, professional boxing or boxing in general, be it professional or amateur, we don't get sponsorship that much because the general public sees it as an aggressive sport. It's a combat sport and a contact sport. What I meant by that, it's more of physical contact. You understand?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
What can we do in it? Like, how do you always is combat sports everywhere in the world?
yeah, it's just we Africans, our mentality, mostly Nigeria, we see it as it involves life, and nobody wants to be involved with a business that takes life. Yes, and the thing is, most of these boxers till date are not insured. Most of these boxers still now the insurance policy in Nigeria is messed up. How many people get insure their life in Nigeria? You understand, life insurance. So in a situation whereby accidents do happen, in a situation whereby a boxer collapse on the ring or die, just like the recent boxer, a Nigerian boxer that died in Ghana, how do we take care of the family? How do we take care of things? The boxer's health, even if they survive, but with major injury, how do you pay their bills? Most of these boxers don't even have daily job income. They don't have monthly income. So they depend on this sport. And if they have major injury whereby they can't fend for themselves and family, who is going to pay their bills?
Yeah.
So there's no body like set up to
like
help.
Nothing like that.
But talking about our man who is outside, Anthony Joshua, why is he not fighting here in Nigeria?
Anthony Joshua, he's only been lucky. The truth is, I don't see Anthony Joshua as a Nigerian. He's a British citizen. He uses a British license, not a Nigerian license. He started his professional boxing over there in England, not Nigeria. He doesn't, and there's one thing I need you to understand. In professional boxing, aside amateur, in professional boxing, you represent yourself first before your country. You don't represent a country You don't represent a state. You don't represent a club. It's yourself,
So
your
first.
name. You. It's like me, myself, and I. Before you talk about country in professional boxing. So Anthony Joshua, as a professional boxer, you can start your career or continue your career in any country as long you meet with the country's requirement. First, citizenship. Secondly, if you have a stay in the country, and if the country gives you the license to fight, like the country's boxing board, if they give you the license to box in that country, then you can fight. You can turn your professional or you do your professional career there. It's not compulsory that you fight from Nigeria.
Because he had a British license, does that mean he cannot fight for Nigeria?
Just as I said, be it British citizen or not, in professional boxing, you represent yourself first before your country. Now, Anthony Joshua has a dual citizenship. You understand? Going to the ring, the whole world knows he's a Nigerian. He represents Nigeria.
Yeah.
But the truth is, he represents Anthony Joshua first. Secondly, he decides which country to represent, either in Britain or Nigeria.
Yeah, we don't say you should come and represent Nigeria. We're not saying you should fight in Nigeria. Like, why can't? Is it not going to be lucrative for them to host a fight in Nigeria, like a big major fight like that in Nigeria?
Okay. And there was a time when Don King came to Nigeria to promote Anthony Joshua's defense, but Nigerians could not meet the terms and conditions, or should I say Don King could not meet Nigeria's terms and conditions. Nigeria was after the TV rights. You understand? That is where yes, TV rights. In Obasanjo then, he said, okay, if I give you this amount of dollars to promote a WBC world title in Nigeria, what is our own benefit? You understand? Now, the only way Nigeria could make money then was through TV rights, which Don King did not give Nigeria the rights.
I was Don King benefiting now.
Like adverts, in a TV rights where you see something like Super Sport comes to show the event live. We also need our Nigeria stations to show the event live, and advert that comes in goes to the promotional outfit or the country or the major. Yes, yes. So he makes the money from it. That was why the deal was cut off. Now, if we ask Samuel Peter or Anthony Joshua to come fight first, who will promote the event? Who is going to be the promoter to promote the event? Promoting a boxer like Anthony Joshua, be it world title or not, involves millions
of dollars.
Dollars. Okay, let's see the last fight. Samuel Peter fought in what's it called? Saudi Arabia. How many $1 million was he paid for ordinary contest, not a world title? Now, if Samuel Peter could receive nothing less than $1 million, how many Nigerian promoters can afford that? And if they decide to come promote it in Nigeria, how would they make back their money? You understand?
TV rights. Can they not make it off of the TV rights and all this?
Yes, those are factors they need to put in place to promote such an event here in Nigeria. Number one, they want to make profit back. No promoter will invest $1 million.
I wouldn't want to make profit.
And will make, okay, let's take for instance, our Nigerian promoters will spend millions to do shows, and just for ticketing only for gate fee, they make less than 200,000. After spending, for ticketing, they make less than 200,000. In some cases,
200,000 naira.
In some cases, for ticketing, after selling out like 500, okay, you have a ticket of 1,000 naira per ticket, VIP. And then you expecting $1 million.
VIP can be 1,000 naira.
No, I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just using that as an example. And you have an auditorium of 1 million seaters. And at the end of the event, how many people came for the event? 200 maximum. And you have, so even if the ticket VIP is 20,000 naira, how many VIPs will come? How many Nigerians can afford 20,000 naira to watch boxing?
But they are affording to watch music and watch Wizkid and watch all these guys.
Boxing?
Yes. No. He said how many Nigerians can afford it?
Can you pay to watch boxing?
Yes.
Any Nigerian.
What I'm saying is, he said how many Nigerians can afford to pay 20,000 to watch a boxer? But it's an entertainment. A lot of Nigerians pay 100,000 to
No,
watch
we're
Wizkid.
talking about preference here.
You
But he just said
you
said boxing was the second most liked sport in
boxing
Nigeria.
was the same, but to a specific group of
People.
people in Nigeria. You can't compare a sport like football where you have even a child inside the womb of the mother enjoys, and boxing everybody scared from, runs for. Okay.
So sorry, then when did you get your
Analogy.
that it was second most liked?
Now,
Oh wait, after football and then the next one everybody was scared of it.
after football,
Then it cannot be
after
boxing then.
football in Nigeria, sports, take it or you leave it. After football is boxing.
Yeah, if it is boxing. Okay,
Statistics
sorry,
say so.
after boxing then is what? Because if it's top 5, at least they should need to
After
spend.
boxing, then you can. To me, the only sport that moves in Nigeria: football, boxing, basketball.
But
Every other sports are optional.
I think I have something to say. Now you're talking about the sponsorship and all. I remember you said people don't really like to invest their money in boxing, probably because it's life threatening and all. So now bringing it to a place of political governance,
Okay.
what benefits does the industry gain from Nigerian government? Do we have a specific academy that is being sponsored by the government for people to partake in this?
Okay. First thing you should know: boxing. I am a professional boxing manager. I used to run an amateur boxing club then under Lagos State Boxing Association, Mike Boxing Club. You understand? First thing you need to know: in boxing, it is divided into two. We have the amateur sector and we have the professional sector. The professional sector are strictly business oriented,
Okay.
while the amateur sector is being run by the government. You understand? Nigeria government, they made it clear. Okay.
Amateur sector is being run by the government.
Amateur is strictly government.
So the amateur coach is a government.
No, why I say strictly run by government, because they are governed under the Sports Commission.
Lagos State Sport Commission.
No, not Lagos State.
Or just in general, Nigeria.
General. You understand? We have the NBF, which is the Nigeria Boxing Federation, which is the umbrella body for boxing in Nigeria.
Amateurs. Okay.
Now, that is for federal.
Okay.
You understand? They organize national championship, open championship. They are
youth games.
Yes.
So that means in regards to the questions, there is a program for amateurs and boxers.
No, those MBF are responsible for boxers going to represent the country for Commonwealth Games, for Olympic, for All African Games, and whatever.
Okay.
You understand? Now, how do MBF get their boxers? States who also have their own associations that is being run and governed by the state government.
Okay.
Which are state boxing association, like Lagos State Boxing Association or your state boxing association. They are into state championship, state festivals are being run by the state government, whereby they run state championship, state festivals. You understand? Now, what they do, see how it works in amateur. There is what they call club championship. You understand? Now, in a club championship, maybe for instance, 10 clubs come together. Now, states, what they do, the events for state, they have the club championship, whereby maybe 20 clubs comes together and run a championship event where some boxers will be selected to represent the local government council. Then they have local government championship, whereby different local governments come under the state association. For instance, let's take case study Lagos State Boxing Association. They have a championship where different local governments will come together to partake, and the states. And one annoying thing about state amateur, if as a boxer you are under a club, you understand, and you go for state championship, state festival, by the time you get to medal table, you are no longer with that club
anymore.
You are under the state. You represent the state. You have a different.
By the time you get to medal table, I don't understand.
Yes, like now,
for
for
instance, medal for the.
Like we have the gold, silver, bronze. You understand? By the time you win the championship
For the state
championship,
promoted event.
yes, let's say state championship, clinic, festival, you win. Now you are being selected under state team, no longer the club. You
so
are under state.
You're under your
Yes,
coach anymore.
you are under state. That does not mean you won't train with your club.
But it's no longer
you
your...
are a state team. Now, that state team now, they divide them into sections, maybe team 1, team 2, team 3. Now, this team 1, they are priority for state. They represent the state for national festival. You understand? Maybe team 2 represent the state for national championship. You understand? That's how they do. Now, each state association takes their boxers to a national event organized by Nigerian Boxing Federation, like the Open Championship, National Sports Festival, and the rest. And anybody that wins from that event represents the country.
But is that something these boxers like, or is it beneficial to them?
It's beneficial to them because number one thing you should know, in amateur boxing, they represent the country. It's an honor for you to represent your country.
That means they can now go for this Olympics and all that
Yes,
stuff.
once you qualify for national team during that festival,
Yes,
you understand? Like each state goes for
So you
state festival.
automatically become...
Once you win the championship, automatically you are with the state team. You understand? And then you represent the state for all African games, Olympic, Commonwealth, whatever. You understand? And note, state and national, they pay their boxers either monthly or annually.
If you fight or not.
Once you are representing them, for instance, you qualify for state, maybe state championship, and they pick you as a state
By
team.
qualifying means you won a medal.
Yes,
That's the only way to qualify.
Yes, that's the only way to qualify. You represent the state. You are under the state team. You understand? You have a different trainer, because the amateur
a different trainer or a specific coach for...
No, there's a coach.
For the team.
They have each state have their own coach. They have the chief coach and assistant coaches. You understand?
Okay.
Those coaches are responsible in shaping your career as a boxer. They train you, they camp you, they give you more skills, they teach you more. You understand? And prepare you for national events. By the time you go for national event, you win that event. You are no longer under the states. You are now under national
Federation
with a different coach, with a different team.
So it starts from your coach.
Yes.
Then if you win a medal, you go to the states. If you win the states,
on and
you go
on
to
like
federal.
that.
Yes.
Then from federal, you now have to go to all these Olympics, all African
now,
games.
the federal, they have their team. Now maybe they select you team 1 or team 2, whatever.
Is there like a minimum amount per team? Like
no, in each weight category, each team must have boxers in each weight category.
Is it was it the maximum 5?
No, 12. We have 12 categories in boxing.
No, 12 categories, but in each category, how many
No,
boxers
it
can
depends on the numbers of boxers. That sometimes can be 3, sometimes can be 4. You understand?
in the federal, abi?
Yes, both federal, both states.
Okay.
You understand? That does not mean the states or federal will not invite other boxers.
Wait, what do you mean? Sometimes it could be 3, could be 4,
Like
5.
for the medal table, you have gold, silver, bronze. Those who qualify are with that association, be it states or federal. You understand? Now, for instance, let's say in heavyweight category, we have 3 boxers that qualify. That does not mean the national will not invite other boxers because they need people to spar with.
Okay.
They need people, they will still camp
For
other
people
boxers.
that don't know what sparring is, what is sparring?
Like it's like how will I put it now? It's preparing yourself. You're actually, I'm trying to look for a word to fix it. You are actually boxing, fighting on the ring, but not a real fight. You are feeling the impact. They train you to feel the impact of what you will face on top of the ring. It's just like a physical contact.
like a mock exam.
Yes.
Like preparation for the main.
Yes. You. I'm trying to look for the right word to use. You train. You box during training to see how fit you are.
If someone like Nelly now was to start boxing,
What do you mean?
My dear, I won't even advise you to go into boxing.
how old normally? Like, what age do you need to be for that? Is she too young or too old to start boxing?
I don't know her age.
No,
so
no,
I
no.
can't predict.
Like,
But
Okay, what's the age range?
Okay, a 2-year-old child can go into boxing as long as being tutored by somebody who is ready to guide him or her.
A 2-year-old, that's
yes.
not visible. It's not.
Oh, we have
Not
them.
tangible enough.
We have them. That is the best way.
That is the youngest.
That is the best way to get a good stable,
natural talent.
because you train them young. But me, I will never advise my enemy to block 40, in fact 35, and still remain in the game, because naturally you are gone. 40.
What do you mean you're gone?
You are gone. By the time you get there, you will know. A 40 years old man, there are things you do 10 years ago you can't do now. Me, I'm above 40. There are things I do 10, 20 years ago. Naturally, I can't do now.
Okay.
So you don't expect me, and I'm prone to illness, diabetes. Mostly, I love sugar. I love anything sweet. So I can't tell if I have diabetes.
But most people who participate in sports are being given certain rules and regulations to abstain from certain things.
You have to be disciplined as a boxer, as a combat sports person. You have to be disciplined. There are things you don't do. That food, naturally, as in boxing, that food you enjoy eating, you have to reduce. There are habits you have from birth. You force yourself to stop. You drink too much, you have to stop it. You smoke, you have to stop it. You womanize, you have to stop it.
Womanize.
I know you will go there, because some people they are cursed with it. If they don't see anything under the skirt pass, so by the time you go, you weaken your body.
What has womanizing got to do with this?
A lot, because instead of you to keep fit, they will tell you, yes, it's exercise, you keep fit, you burn calories, you burn weight. But you are prone to infections. You are prone to infections, number one. It endangers your life. And trust me, if you visit madam before the fight, no strength for you to continue on the ring.
So all this while he has been training.
Yes, it's useless. Once there is a madam at the corner before he climbs the ring.
So boxers are not allowed to get married. Is that what you're saying?
They can
They will
get
more
married
before the fight or during like camp period.
Yes, you abstain from it.
Oh, okay.
You have to be. Boxers are the most disciplined athletes in the world, because there are things they don't do. A regular athlete would do.
Yeah,
A boxer train regularly, but a person playing basketball or swimming, they don't train regularly, because boxing, mostly professional boxing, you can be called anytime for a fight.
Yeah, Mr. Onyeka, you know, when we first started, you mentioned that a lot of Nigerians, they're scared of like this boxing because of like injuries and deaths. And unfortunately, there was a death of a boxer that died in Ghana. I think about 2 weeks now, Mr. Onyeka Exposes. What could have been done, or what can be done in future to avoid such cases? Naturally, you can't. Boxers died internationally every time, but I noticed that in Nigeria, even before Success, there was a guy that died in Ibadan. Maybe not in the ring, and then before that, there was an initial, like in the space of like a month, we lost 3 boxers. What procedures or what can be done to avoid such, or why is it so rampant and like on this side of the world?
That just as I said, boxing is just unfortunate that I'm very, very close to Segun Success, and it still pains me. And if you want me to go into that case, we will not leave from here, because people who are responsible for it, they have to pay for his death. Now, how do we avoid that if I should get you?
Sorry, people who are responsible for it.
Has to pay.
They have to pay.
Was he killed?
Technically, he was killed.
Wow.
Technically.
Can you shed more light?
Because you don't see a boxer that never trained, a boxer that did not train for 3-4 months, that never trained, and 48 hours to a fight, you stupidly call him to go and fight.
Yeah, but Mr. Onyeka, who calls people, and how are they meant to know that he didn't train for up to 4 months?
If we should go there deeply into it, because it pains me, saddens my heart. Segun Success, I am very, very close to him. I can show you proof. The There is one of my boxer I just signed. You understand? His name is Wisdom. He trains with Segun Success.
Okay.
Segun Success is my friend. We are close. I knew him from his amateur days. You understand? He's a very, very good boxer. Very, very good and technical. He doesn't joke with training. But unfortunately, Nigerian economy really affects everybody, both physically and mentally.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't double your hustle, you will die in Nigeria.
Wait,
No.
sir, what do you mean Nigeria economy? So the economy stopped him from training?
Not before my
Oh,
mouth.
that should be.
Yeah.
This is career for Christ's
No,
sake.
I think what you're trying to say is,
If you want us
if
to go
he's
into
not
politics,
training, if he's not training, is it financial reasons?
She is not going to the training aspect. She is going to Nigeria economy.
No, that was
No. She said,
it now.
is it stopping him from training?
You want DSS to come and pick us?
No,
If
she
you
said,
want it,
is
let's start.
Nigerian economy
Sir,
stopping him from
we just
training?
need you to practically express
Now-
this thing to us.
Now, how did Nigeria economy affect a situation whereby you don't have regular fights due to sponsorship and due to hardship in the country? A situation whereby even if you get fights, they pay you peanuts.
But you
due
just
to
said
hardship.
they're paying better. So who's paying peanuts?
They're paying better. But recently, how many promotions do we have?
Okay,
Do we do in
sir,
Nigeria
I think I need to.
because of finance?
I think I need to ask this question now.
Mm.
You know, you only get sponsorship when you prove that something is good enough.
Yeah.
So people can deem it fit to invest their money. So what is this boxing industry doing to actually attract other companies, attract people, attract the government to invest in them?
Just as I said,
Because even speaking as a lady, I there are times I go out with friends, go see football, but you won't see me going out to go watch a boxing game. Why? Because they have not really
They would not
positioned
promote-
themselves.
that's promotion. I think they're lacking in terms of promotion and marketing.
So they don't really put themselves out there to be worthy of being promoted.
Yeah, I think no, because let's not quickly sway away from Segun story. Because he was a champion.
We'll definitely get to Segun Success.
Was he not a national champion?
Yes,
so it's like if he couldn't get
We'll
all this
definitely get to
sponsorship.
Segun Success, but let me clear out something with her first. First, you need to know, in boxing, just as I said earlier, mostly in Nigeria, is divided into two. The amateur, being run by the government, being sponsored and financed by the government. Then professional, we are private.
Private. Oh, you are just making it clear now.
We are private companies. We are not a government parastatal. We are not under any ministry. We are a one-man business with associations under the WBC, the WBO, and like that. You understand? Now, how many companies have you ever? Okay, you're not anyway. You're not into the boxing industry. I have been into the boxing industry for 25 years now.
Okay.
As a manager. Now, personally, I don't want to mention names of companies. You understand? It's not proper because they are not paying for this. They never advertise it. Personally, I have gone to 3 top companies in Nigeria. 3 top companies. One is one of the biggest noodles production company in Nigeria. By that statement, you should know the company I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention it. I wrote proposals. I think that should be in 2010. I wrote proposals. I went to the office. I went to the headquarters. I met the general purchasing manager of the company is my family. I don't want to mention them.
Okay.
Now, I met the man. He pushed my proposal. I went there. I met the board of directors. Do you know what I was told?
Oh.
That they can sponsor schools in terms of cook their noodles, take to school, print books with their brand, give to school, even pay school fees for students free of charge. But they can never and they will never sponsor boxing.
How does boxing?
Let me say, because it's an aggressive sport. Quote and unquote. That was what I was told.
I think
And they gave me back my proposal.
It's
But
health
wait,
risk.
let me
People
ask
don't
you,
want to go and
if you were
sponsor
to
children
be
that die.
the owner of a noodle production company, would you sponsor boxing?
Let me
to be
sorry,
a drink.
It's called the health and safety reason as well.
Let me reverse the question back to you. If you, madam, should be the owner or the director of a noodle company, in Nigeria economy as an economist, and you sponsor a contact sport and your brand, everything. In fact, the caption for that show is, what's your name again?
Nelly
Noodles. A very interesting name. Nelly Noodles, professional boxing event, and one person died. How do you think Nelly Noodle with Nigerian mentality? Nelly don't use and use this box.
No. This is what I would do.
Oh, that is Nigeria.
Let me tell you what I would do. You know, normally in business, we look at our target audience, our customers. We look out for those who really are customers before we take further steps to putting our markets out there for people to see and then patronize or purchase whatever we put there. Now, if I own a noodle company, I wouldn't want to invest into boxing because the target audience there, if you look at children, that's a beautiful audience. Because kids will always want to have noodles, take to school when they're back, even adults. You get. But if you, I feel you didn't go to the right place. If you are going to an energy drink,
it's still all down to marketing and branding.
Because
that
I
marketed
am not
to
running a
kids
school.
in the same way.
I am not running a school. Neither am I running a fun fair business. I'm running a contact sport. This is my business. So definitely they can't invest in it. Now let's leave the noodles aside. I will bring up an energy drink that every mature people take. In fact, I think one of the energy drinks is here. I will not mention in Tango will have like 4 brands. My dear, I went there and they offered me 8.5 million naira.
Okay.
They signed everything. And one of our brother, then I haven't registered my company. One of our brother, because I needed a corporate organization to stand for me. Then I was still younger. I was in my 30s. No, I was about 28 then. And our brother, who is supposed to protect the interests of professional boxing. I took him there because he owns an entertainment outfit. I took him there, Oga or CEO, 8.5 million naira. Now they won't give me. They don't sign. But I need a corporate body and a corporate account to receive the money. After taking our brother there, do you know what he did?
What did he do?
At my back, he called them. I can do the same show for 1.5 million naira.
Wow.
Once I have seen check 8.5 million naira stamped, he went at my back.
Is it still your brother?
Yeah, it's my brother.
Still your brother.
At the end, I went back. Already, there is confusion, no agreement.
You already made an affinity with them.
Yes. At the end, do you know what the energy... let me close my mouth. I wanted to mention the energy drinks name. Do you know what they told me? They said, we can still give you your 8.5 million naira, but in kind.
In kind.
Tell me, do I look like a drunkard that will carry energy drink with 45%, is it 45? How many percent alcohol? To an event where people beat themselves up.
But energy drink don't have alcohol, right?
No, they have alcohol, little percentage.
But not to the level of you being intoxicated.
I don't take alcohol. I don't take energy drink. So I'm not a drunkard. I don't know. Now, if they can sponsor an event for 8.5 million naira, and because of somebody messed up, they now said, instead of giving me the cash, note, I don't have capital for that event. I needed the cash to pay boxers. I needed the cash to pay hall. I needed the cash to pay tax and the rest. But now you are coming with drink. To give me, do I look like a drunkard? In an event where you see people beating themselves. Maybe one of the boxers,
you probably would have shared it to the people who came to view.
No, I cannot share 8 million naira worth of drink.
Because, and note, they said they will come with their staff, share it, and anything that remains, they go with it. Coming to share is not the problem. The drink is the problem. What about if somebody gets drunk, high, and maybe the referee raised the hand of somebody that has lesser fans and the one with much fans losses, they'll say they don't do ojoro, alcohol will take place. They'll start breaking people's head.
So what do you think can be done so people can start,
Now,
putting their money into this?
The only way to take this out is by being scientific. Why I mean by being scientific, you know what Nigeria love. You can bring a lady with pant and bra to dance in a stage and you see thousands of youths coming to watch. You can bring Fela to come and perform and you see, sorry to show, Fela family, may they not come after me. Amugo, drug addict coming in thousands because Fela is there. Fela is a legend. I'm not disrespecting him. I'm only using him as a case study. Now you see people come, but in boxing events, if you like, bring the best boxer in Nigeria. It is only him, his family, and his compound people that will come and watch. You yourself, you will not come and watch. If you see me fighting, you will not come. Because there is nothing I can do that will make you happy. This is where we have to be scientific now. To get crowd. Okay, what do we do? Osofia is a funny actor. Let's invite him to perform on stage, to do more comic or the rest. You see people will come in. That is a scientific factor I am talking about. I've seen promoters, I don't want to mention name, do promotion events and they bring in somebody like Genevieve, Omotola, I think he brought Tiwa Savage. He brought Tiwa Savage to perform live on that day. It was his first event. And you see the crowd. Ordinary tickets, I am not talking about VIP. If I tell you how much the tickets worth, quote and unquote, the promoter made millions from ticket alone. Because of those musicians and actors, actresses he brought in, mixed with boxing. Or how many promoters can afford that? Now you want us, I hope I've answered you. You want us now to go in terms of Segun Success debt because the thing pains me, and the truth is, if I start now, we'll cause more trouble. And me, I'm ready for it.
So, but as an individual, you ought to love yourself properly. You stated it clearly that you didn't train for a couple of months, and then he was called to fight, and he went ahead.
But he told you economic. There were also economic issues. That was the reason why he wasn't training in the first place.
Let me answer your question. Segun Success needed money.
Okay.
I need money. You need money. No matter how much they pay you for this podcast, you still need money. But true of us,
True.
your salary is not enough for you. He's a family man with 2 children and responsibility. The only son of his family. You understand? Now, the thing here, we all know we need money. And me personally, I am very, very close with Segun. I can show you chats we've been discussing. Now, Segun, there's a light heavyweight I just signed. Segun Success was the person that gave me the boxer. They trained together. Segun Success fought last in December. And since then, he did not climb the ring. And Success has been complaining to me, Oga, we know they train, no. I don't know what they do, Segun. He will just tell me, go jog around Ogun State. And me, I'm tired of jogging. No hitting bag, no pad, no sparring, and the rest. I say, calm down. Because I was preparing him for an event, the WBC Amateur World Championship we did in Lagos, Nigeria, February 6th. He fought there, he won bronze on that event. Now, after the event, he went back to Ogun State. It has been complaint upon complaint, series of complaints. Boss, Segun is not training. In fact, I am tired. I want to come to Lagos where I can get. And I called Segun, what is happening to you? He said, responsibility plenty. I need to hustle.
And mind you, he's not an amateur.
He's a professional.
Okay.
He's a married man with children.
Okay.
He needs to take care of a 2-year-old child and a 9-year-old month. Do you know how much Pampers cost now in Nigeria? Do you know how much baby food costs now in Nigeria? 18,500 now. Can. Naan. 1 container of naan. Pampers, a roll of Pampers. Do you know how much it costs? Even the akamu, to feed a child locally akamu. Do you know how much 1 container of akamu costs? Ogi. Pap. Now, Segun needs money. Now, the thing is, whatever he's going through in life, I don't know much. It's his personal life. But all I know was he wasn't training. He wasn't fit for any fight. And the rules in professional boxing says you give a boxer 21 days, mostly boxer that don't train, 21 days to prepare, minimum of 21 days to prepare
ahead of the time
fight. Now, 21 days as a professional boxer is more than enough for you to prepare. The fact that he's not training, a professional boxer is always disciplined. The fact that Segun Success wasn't training does not mean he doesn't jog. He doesn't go for road work. But road work does not guarantee you, or is not the criteria of you being a professional boxer or training as a professional boxer. There are things you should do, like the shadow boxing, the sparring, hitting of bags, and pad for correction of punches. You need the trainer to hold pad for you to punch for correction of punches. He hasn't been doing that. Maybe he skips. Do you call skipping training? When you are not going for 100-meter race? Do you call jogging from here to Ibadan training? When you are not going to run marathon race for Olympic? You are going for professional boxing for the love of Christ. You need to spar. You need to feel the impact of punches in your body before the fight, which he never had. That is one. Secondly, Segun has been complaining, and the way he talks to me on phone, I know may he so rest in peace. Anyway, he was somehow frustrated. Anytime he got, I don't tire. Complain about one person.
Are you saying he was depressed?
He was depressed because that person stole his money, and I can prove to you. You sent this guy.
Who's that?
The Secretary of Nigerian Boxing Board of Control, who is supposed to be a secretary and not a manager.
The Secretary of MBBFC.
MBBFC
Stole his money.
Why I say stole? Technically, that is stealing.
Okay.
He is supposed to be a Secretary General, not a boxing manager, not a matchmaker, not a promoter. If you want to manage boxers, step down as a Secretary General of the board. That is the rules.
Sorry, what's the job of the Secretary General? Right?
Is administrative judge. You represent the Nigeria. You are the spokesperson of the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control. You understand? You protect the interests of the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control, not managing boxers. Only you manage Segun Success. He was Segun's manager. I can show you proof. When they went to Russia, Australia to fight, at the end, Segun was complaining to me. I personally called both of them to settle that problem. That was last year. Onyeka called both of them to settle that fight. You understand? Every day Segun has been complaining. Now, to make matter worse, when Segun left for Nigeria, this one that took his life, he called me on Monday. Because actually, Wisdom called me Monday morning. Oh God, don't tire.
Wisdom is the person you just signed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Who trains with Success. It was even Success that brought him up as a boxer. He said, oh God, don't tire. My coach, no, they train. I see what happened. He said, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. He keeps telling me jog around Ogun State. I want to come to Lagos State. If you find me a job, doing part-time job, so I can be working, and I said, okay, there is a promoter I work with, and I would ask him, because he owns a supermarket, I will ask him to please employ you and also get you an apartment close to his residence at Ikorodu, because he owns a gym also there, so you can be training. That was our agreement. And I called Success. Come, waiting happen. He said, you know, go understand, person need to also for money. I said, okay. Say, see what happen between me and Wisdom. I'm trying to see how I can bring him to Lagos so I can be monitoring his career. He said, good. Then he told me, he in the hustle now, he buy bus when they use the run up and down. That is why he doesn't have time to train. He actually bought a downfall bus they use for transportation in the Ogun State. I said, good. At least a family man, you need to take care of the children. Not for Remi Abodere to call him on Tuesday night. Segun, you get fight for Ghana. Start coming. And Segun came down to Lagos the next day. According to Remi, he said he trained. Which me, I know Segun did not train. Has never been training since January. The fact that you brought him to Lagos and he maybe did one sparring does not qualify him to go and fight. Number one offense, you are his manager. You should know the state of your stable. You understand? That is one. Number two offense, you should protect the interest of your boxer, which you did not do. No medical reports. Segun has not fought for the past 6 months, for the past 4 months. No medical report to show his feet. You did not collect that. No proof that he has been training. Even his trainer confirmed that Segun has not been training. His trainer did not go with him to Ghana. He said, over my dead body will I follow you to Ghana because I knew you did not train. So I can't follow you to a fight I know you will lose. That was what his trainer.
Did he actually lose the fight?
He died on the fight. How will he lose?
He died in the ring?
He died in the ring there. Now, number 3 offense. You know all this. You're not giving release letter to go and fight. He went to Ghana that day. He got Ghana, in fact, on the day of the weigh-in. I think the fight was 28. He got to Ghana 27 early in the morning. No time to rest. They now asked him call for weigh-in. He went for weigh-in. You understand? To prove he wasn't training. A boxer that is fit must meet the weight category.
What's the weight category like?
Let's say for instance, you're coming to fight and you are to fight 75.5 kg. That should be your weight category. But in Segun's case, instead of him weighing 75.5, Segun was weighing over 80. That's a proof that he hasn't been training. Because a boxer that is fit, even if you want to overweigh, you can't overweigh more than 1 or 2 kg. You can't overweigh more than 2 kg. And maybe they tell you, okay, go and skip, burn more calories, then you must make that 75.5. He did everything. He did not even meet. He did not go below 80. And they told him off, you cannot fight because you overweigh. And they said, in one condition, you are there, you will come and lose. He said he's not going to lose. That instead of him to lose, he will go back to Nigeria. Now, he was coming back to Nigeria that 28 because the fight wasn't held again. He overweighed and he wasn't ready for the terms and conditions. He wasn't ready to lose. Can't leave Nigeria by road, suffer to Ghana.
By road?
Yes.
By road?
By road. 48 hours to fight. By road.
48 hours fight.
Bam. And he got to Ghana 24 hours to the fight. Because from Lagos to Ghana is 12 hours.
Is there anyone overseeing this issue on ground?
Remi Abodere is aware of everything that happened in Ghana. Everything, quote and unquote. He is the Secretary General of Nigerian Boxing Board of Control. He gave the release letter to go and fight in Ghana. GBA, Ghana Boxing Authority, I know because I spent 3 years in Ghana. I worked with Ghana Boxing Board of Ghana Boxing Authority. I send Nigerian boxers to Ghana. No foreign boxer will enter the land of Ghana and fight without a release letter from the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control, without medical certification to prove that he's fit for the fight. Ghanaians will never accept you. If you like, be the goddess or the god of boxing. If you don't meet those requirements, they will never accept you. Even if you come to fight free of charge, they will send you back. But for Ghanaians to allow him fight, you should know they must have gotten green light from Nigeria, which he is denying it. You don't need to tell me about GBA. You don't need to tell me about Ghana Boxing Authority. I know how they operate. I have gotten, because of me, quote and unquote, Ghana Boxing Authority made their rules and regulation more strict
Because of you.
because of me.
How
Because
did that happen?
In 2012, I took my boxer to Ghana into the Sonny King Hammer for a WBO African title, and we were robbed of the fight. And I sued them. I wrote a petition.
I think I heard about that.
I sent a petition, and Ghana was banned because of me for 2 years.
Really?
I think I
Yes.
heard about, which boxer was that?
Sonny King Hammer against Latekwe Ahmad for a WBO African title. And I got an info directly from the WBO world president that the winner of that fight will in 2 months' time, will come to Australia for a world title. When I hear world title, where they go pay me nothing less than $20,000 for a start, win or lose, who no one go Australia first? Who no one go collect big money? I said, we will die for a year. They called me. They said they will bribe me. The same thing they did to Shegun, because Ghanaians are good at that. They said they will bribe me for Sonny King Hammer to. I said, I will double the money and give to you for Sonny King Hammer to win, because I know Sonny King Hammer will win Latekwe Ahmad. They did everything for us to lose. I said, no, whether you like it or not, I no go travel 12 hours, come Ghana, come lose. And then my American friend, Ken Bidu, was in Ghana then. So I called Ken Bidu. He's a white man. I said, Ken, I need you to second Sonny King Hammer on the ring. Seeing Ken Bidu, a white man, with Sonny King Hammer was a threat to them. They had to send a mobile police to come and arrest me on the ring. That was what provoked me.
Arrest you for what?
That I was trying to cause riots.
Was it after the decision was made?
After they tried bribing me, and I did not succumb, I did not agree. They said they did everything possible to frustrate us. They called the police. The police conked AK-47, points me, and I told them, if they burn you well, shoot me. If the bullet enter my body, I said, let me say I no be Niger Delta man. That alone scared the guy.
Should I run for my life?
That alone, I'm telling you the gospel truth, that alone scared the guy. He dropped his weapon, his rifle, and said, carry your wahala. They go. Number 1 offense, taking me outside the ring on an official duty. Number 1 offense. Number 2 offense, what they did, I think around 10 or thereabout. I couldn't remember because it's 2012 or thereabout. Around 10, Latekwe Ahmad pulled his glove, saying he's not going to fight again. Because Sonny King Hammer's punches were hell. Now, they asked us to come through by road. I got sponsor who booked flight ticket for Sonny King Hammer to Ghana. So that one alone intimidated them. They don't know Sonny King Hammer. They met him for the first time and they were intimidated because of his physical build. You understand? Now, to cut the story short, for the boxer to pull his glove in the rules of boxing,
that's end of game.
My dear, they off lights, off camera. Carry Latekwe Ahmad back to the ring, wore his glove, and asked him to continue fight. Hammer will beat Ahmad. They will count against Hammer. I said, for what? What was going on? And I called semi-captain. Then he was still the president of Ghana Boxing. But I said, sir, you see what is happening? He said, Elum, calm down. I said, all this thing that's happening, I will write a petition against Ghana to the WBO. He said, calm down. He wanted to cut story short, my dear. But best will beat way wrong, come up for ring. They raise the hand up, saying I ain't win. That thing got me annoyed. I wrote petition to the WBO. This was what happened. This was what happened. I said, they said they should send the tape for them to watch, to edit, because the WBO African president wasn't there. They sent the tape, they edited the tape, gave them their own edit version, and WBO approved the fight. Where WBO knew I was saying the truth was when Latekwe Ahmad went to Australia to fight round 1 knockout. The guy never won't throw punch, they don't knock him out for ring. That was when WBO believed what I was saying and sanctioned Ghana.
So even after seeing the tape,
because it was edited now.
Even after seeing the fight and whatever, they still went along and said no.
Yes,
the decision was correct.
Everything was already manipulated already.
They gave Latekwe Ahmad. So when Latekwe, 2 months later, when Latekwe went to Australia to fight the world title instead of me and Sonny King Hammer, he lost. That was where WBO believed, and they had to do because of that incident, Ghanaians became more strict. They don't want that to repeat again, because I caused a lot of trouble. I went to the TV station. In fact, I showed them Chris. So they were avoiding it. Now, coming to this, whatever, I have a screenshot message of what Segun Success sent to me. I would have opened this before this interview to show you as proof, because me, I like proof. My life simple, very, very simple. I like proof. He sent a message that these guys are threatening my life. They said I should lose, because I refused to lose. They were threatening my life. I don't know what to do. Some people had to sneak me out of the venue. That was the message he sent before he died. Now, climbing, for him to send me that message, he must have sent Remi Aboderi. Not must. He sent Remi Aboderi message, because that same message he sent to his mother, he sent to his sister. Now, you as the Secretary General of Nigerian Boxing Board, what were you supposed to do immediately? To call GBA. Our boxer complained. What happened? I believe he must have called. Me, I know. I know Remi well. He must have called. What's happening? You understand? Now, what killed Segun? They say it's cardiac arrest or whatever they call him. Whether not karat, I mean, which they call it, I don't bloody care the name of the whatever. But I know it's heart failure. Stress. Why won't somebody have heart failure on the ring? When he was stressed to Ghana, he was threatened, and you forced him to fight. Why won't he be stressed? He was leading, and round 3, he couldn't punch. He slumped. So tell me, who should be held responsible? If Segun could send me that message, he must have sent Remi Aboderi. No more. He sent Remi Aboderi the same message. Why didn't you take action? That is one. Now, what pains me most was Remi Aboderi, instead of taking responsibility, we don't mess up. The fault was from me. We're supposed to protect our boxer. He is now saying, now hunger make the guy. For goodness sake, am I not hungry? Look at the clothes I wear. Am I supposed to wear these clothes? Am I not supposed to wear bling bling? Am I not a professional boxing manager?
It's not about
my car. If I tell you when I put fuel last in my car, the under pilot don't suffer from my hand, because I cannot afford to buy fuel. Who is not suffering in Nigeria? Me coming here. If I did I drop money with my wife for my wife at home? Coming here. So who is not suffering? So
indirectly, you're saying the economy, the bad things happening contributed to.
I am not saying the economy. It is the responsibility of the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control to protect the boxer home and abroad, which they failed Segun Success. Number one, you gave him the fight to go fight. He got there, he complained. You were supposed to take action immediately. You did not. You did not take action. Now the boxer died. You said now hunger make the boxer go fight for Ghana. Now hunger now make him go kill himself. Say at first he said they did not give him, the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control did not permit him, to don't approve him. Then I called Ghana. I said send me the release letter, which they did. They sent me the release letter and I forwarded to him. I think I should have more, because I like proof. I forwarded to media, to Punch newspaper and the rest. I said, Chebi, you say you know you give this guy a release letter. Who can't give this guy a release letter? Is this not your signature? That was when he was saying, this is a release letter. Look at it. This is a release letter. Segun Success. Remi Aboderi gave Segun Success. That was the release letter he gave. So who now gave this release letter? He thought he can fool anybody. I had to call Ghana. They gave him. They sent the document to me. Is that not a signature there?
So what do you think can be done to make
No. Sorry. Let me finish that release letter issue. Now he said the release letter was for 28, not 25, because the fight was postponed to the next day. Release letter served for 24 hours. For goodness sake, the fight wasn't held on the 28th, but 29, which still falls under this release letter. If it was the boxers was changed, I would have said Shegun head. But it's the same boxer you gave release letter for 28 that still fought Shegun for 29. Okay, let's okay, forward back. Assuming Shegun did not die, all this nonsense wouldn't have come out. Why do you deny it? Okay, thank God I saw the screenshot of the message Shegun Success sent that are threatening me. Oh, this is it. This is the message. You want to show the world the message? This is the message Shegun Success sent. Sir, they are threatening me. Oh, they say they will kill me. And because I said I will not fight. I will not lose.
And nothing was done.
So how can Shegun get justice now? What do you think
that is what we are fighting for? But the board is being protected by stupid set of idiots. Remi Aboderi is responsible for this guy's death. He should take responsibility. Nobody will kill him. Nobody will arrest him.
Nobody would arrest
because
him.
Because there is a contract signed. For you to go into boxing, you should know it's a do or die event. It's a sport that takes life. Accident happens. For goodness sake, accident happens. Bashiru Thompson died in Lagos, Nigeria. The same thing I saw Bashiru Thompson. I told them, I was there on the wing. This guy no look fit to me to fight. Oh. And again, if they take something where we say me as the suspect, say na drug. They should not, they say no, he's fit. He's an ASP of police. He can fight. Bashiru Thompson was killed by Harun Ojinodu. Round 8. So all those things we are saying. You keep putting the blame on GBA and Shegun Success when you are to blame.
Okay, so what can be done to avoid such, or what can be done to correct these things in future from happening, where boxers are complaining about their lives and being forced to take a loss?
What will solve this issue is, number one, I have been campaigning for the NBBFC to create offices active, because you can't be the secretary, the president, the PRO, everything of one board. Don't you have public relation officers? Don't you have departments like a disciplinary committee, ref committee, and the rest? Medical, you should have committees in the board. They don't have. Severally, personally, I have asked the board to create that. He is saying he can handle it. God, this is an organization, you should have it. My association, Boxing Promoters of Nigeria, wrote a petition to NBBFC to create such a committee. They did not. Assuming such committee was created or active with the Nigeria Boxing Board of Control, no, a boxer that is not fit will not climb the ring, home or abroad, because the committee will checkmate the boxer properly. There will be proper health.
Mr. Oneyka, I've read recently somewhere that this same Mr. Remi Aboderi, Secretary of NBBFC, he's actually been taken off the ABU platform. Is no longer a member of the African Boxing Union.
Yes, due to mismanagement, misconduct, and other offenses, he has been banned totally from the WBC and African Boxing Union, as well removed with immediate effect as the president of West African Boxing Union, that is WABU, is no longer the president. And the ABU have sent a memo in regards of that. That is no longer, I'm trying to open it now, is no longer the president of WABU, and very soon, they said soon another person will be appointed president of WABU. As for now, Remi Aboderi is no longer with ABU and WBC. Neither is he the president of West African Boxing Union, because he has been going about parading himself as the president of West African Boxing Union. And for now, the ABU has suspended the activities of West African Boxing Union. That is a memo sent to all African Boxing Union members.
The activity of West African Boxing Union, or just taking him off, or right now there's a halt on the.
Right now, they suspended the activities of the West African Boxing Union and banned Remi Abodenri, who is the Secretary General of Nigeria Boxing Board of Control, from the African Boxing Union and the World Boxing Council. So
Wow.
he's no longer, if he keeps parading himself as the president, we should all know that he's no longer the president of WABU.
Wow.
And for now, WABU has been suspended in West Africa, pending when a new president will be appointed. Not
Wow.
elected, they don't elect, appointed.
Okay.
Okay, another problem we're having in, I know we've taken much of our time. Another problem we're having in with boxing, professional boxing in Nigeria, is match fixing, fake fights, whereby they will bring an amateur boxer. They'll bring an amateur boxer to the ring, use a retired boxer, old timer name for the amateur boxer to fight their own boxer, to build the boxer's record. You understand? They'll bring an amateur to lose with an old boxer with good record to boost their own boxer's record, which is totally wrong. These amateur boxers they bring, most of them have not even climbed the ring once in their life. What about if they died on the ring? What about accident happen? What about anything happens to them on the ring? What will you tell their family? What will you tell their parents? So these committees will checkmate all this in boxing.
That, in fact, it's a lot. But to round up, let me ask you, how do you think boxing as a sport can be a better place? How do you think it can be better? Because we still have young ones out there who aspire to become a boxer, either here in Nigeria or outside. Wherever it is, some persons may even start from here and even tend to represent the country, Nigeria. So what are your opinions? What are your comments?
Okay. Just as I said, if you say boxing, always put in mind that it's divided into two, professional and amateur. The amateur, they don't have problem because it's a government regulated body.
Okay.
And no government regulated body will stupidly do what we the professionals are doing. Now, the only way to solve this problem is to enforce proper policies and regulation. What I mean by that is, for a boxer, for you to come and register or apply as a boxer, there are criteria you must meet, health-wise, you must meet, physical and mentally. Now, your health, if you are sick or what, your physical appearance, if you have maybe physical damages, accident, those are
Things to look out for
before you become a boxer. Then also, as a boxer, before you climb the ring, there are criteria for you to go through before you box. You must do your medical checkup, proper medical checkup, mostly for hepatitis B, and almost all Nigerian boxers, quote and unquote, has hepatitis B because they keep spreading it like virus to each other. When you don't check, why won't somebody? I know this thing comes with body heat.
Yeah.
So when you don't check them, why won't it spread? Thank God the HIV is not the show for face. And you know they spread like hepatitis B. If not, almost everybody, including me, don't get HIV AIDS. Because I declare, in fact, I don't suspect this as I talk. But after I will go and do medical checkup for hepatitis because I catch headache as I did. So these are factors you should check. Check these boxers. Regular checkup.
Okay.
Insurance matters a lot. Make sure they are insured. Shegun is not insured. As he died now,
It wasn't.
he wasn't insured. As he died now, who will take care of his family? But if a boxer is insured, with nobody pays for death, if there is major accident on the ring, the insurance company will
Take it up.
take it up. Not the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control. But these guys are not insured. no proper medical whatever, no insurance, no good in fact, those are what we should be checking in Nigeria Boxing Board of Control.
So Onyeka, Madam Nelly, it's been a very eventful day. You know, I want to believe the audience and everyone watching this, I've learned a lot about the boxing world, the errors and how we can correct and make the boxing sports broader and more accepted sport. We'll leave you with that, and thank you very much. So shout out to Champions Talk. Like, subscribe, and follow us on Champions Talk on all social media platforms and on YouTube. Thank you very much. Madam Nelly, Mr. Onyeka.
Yeah, I am Oneyka again by name, and I just want to tell you guys out Champions Talk podcast. Go to all social media platforms to like and follow.
Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a nice time.